Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched Good Omens, which is based on the book of the same name, and it had been years, just years ago when I had been introduced to the illustrious works of Terry Pratchett. I've been a huge Terry Pratchett fan ever since I was little, same thing with Neil Gaiman, and this I considered the work of two literary gods. The book is very tongue-in-cheek, very hysterical, but also just a novel about our inadequacy, our foibles, and yet our innovation and just our redeeming qualities and everything in between. It's actually quite uplifting and very intriguing to see the balance between good and evil, and I adored the cast members who played Aziraphale and Crowley. They instantly became my favorites, especially Crowley. I loved every character. I thought that Jezebel was hysterical. She had such range of expression that just made her absolutely a delight to watch, and she kind of reminded me of Patricia Routledge, or I can't remember the name of the woman who acted as Miss Slocum, but she actually reminded me more of Miss Slocum from Are You Being Served quite a bit, just because she had that same kind of versatility and elasticity in her facial expression and her timing. My gosh, that timing was golden, and any comedian to reach that kind of god tier skill is unbelievable in my book. I can't praise it enough. But despite the fact that the series is absolutely perfect verbatim to the book, even after all these years having not have read the book in such a long time, I still remember it because it was just so hysterical that things like that just stay lodged in your memory forever. And just the way that it's written is so witty and snappy and very profound in a lot of its wisdom, and just a lot of the scenarios in it are rather funny as well. But needless to say, I thought there were a couple things that were added in the mix of the series that I thought were more of, oh, we can do this particular thing and then have this demographic included, when it was unnecessary. I just feel like it was more of a political move. And the same thing for Adam's friends and the girl, I would say the girl in particular, because they made her an SJW feminist, or I should say SJW feminazi, which neither added nor detracted anything from the illustrious tale itself. It just seemed banally unnecessary and stupid, and I thought, why? Gaiman, were you in on this? Because I don't think this was a part of your initial plan for the series in and of itself. And yes, it's the whole book. So it's only going to be one season. I don't know why they just said season one. I think they just should have said miniseries or something like that. It would have made more sense, because I highly doubt that they could do a second season with it, given it ends everything with a neatly tied bow, and it's more of a lady or tiger choose their own adventure type of ending, and giving the viewer their own version of everything that came to pass afterward. I'm not going to say what that was in particular, but the series, it is so intensely, marvelously written that I'm glad that they dedicated it to Terry at the end. I thought, oh good, he's going to get some royalty from it. The family will get royalty, as well they should, because Terry Pratchett is a genius. But beyond that, I really can't say much else about Good Omens other than it's woefully short, but yes, it's epic on the level of the book. And I found myself remembering lines and I thought, this is what it should be. And I haven't read Wheel of Time, and I've been hearing other gardeners suggest that I read the Wheel of Time. It's 15 books. I've read longer book series before, but it seems to me that with Wheel of Time being 15 book series, that's a lot of material with which to craft a really sprawling, unbelievable, fantastical realm. And it definitely sounds like something that would be straight up my alley, because I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of fantasy and have been ever since I was little. It's something I fell in love with. I think it's because my grandmother told me fairy tales, and before then I hated reading. I loathed it, I know. Shock of shock, right? Yeah, imagine that. Me, the writer, the reader, not liking reading at all. The ultimate irony. But I love to read now. I can read a book in a day if I have to, if it's something that really captivates me. But needless to say, I feel that the series did everything right except for those two little baubles and just trying to include other people. And I'm sure even without that, even if they just left the one incident with Aziraphale, which actually I thought that would have been better to just leave that in, because it was very, very innocuous and I thought it was cute and funny. But with another character, I thought, no, that was just completely irrelevant. So yeah, I mean, I know it sounds like I'm being naggy. I'm not. Small, overlook the point. The rest of the series is brilliant. The whole thing is absolute genius. And of course, you should expect that from both of these minds combined. And it's absolutely sensational. I found a lot of things about it just very profound and meaningful, and the way they did it, it could have been like with Miracle Workers, which was completely blasphemous and I hated every minute of it. Well, some of it was good, but the rest of it, no. In this case, we get a more reverent look at the creator, which I really like, and it puts everything in a good balance. And it's kind of like an apologist view, and I love it. So I ascribe to that kind of understanding, and also the fact that good and evil aren't really so clear-cut as one would like to think of it as that being. So that's actually a very fascinating viewpoint, I feel. And there are a lot of questions that will break the ice that I feel can be discussed in a matter that's rather intellectual and spiritual. So you can meld the two and not get into trouble. I can't really say too much else about the series. I don't want to give away any spoilers because it's totally useless. Despite the little vetching I did, I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs way up. No contesting. Nothing really. No other real flaw that I could see. 5 stars, hands down. Again, no vetching, no nagging, no real issue with that in particular. I hate to say the fact that it was just too gosh darn short, but yeah, it's, like I said, it covers the whole book, and even if you haven't read the book, if you're interested in it, it's not offensive in any way, shape, or form, but it has some very good philosophical viewpoints, and yeah, if you're into philosophy, then this is the show for you. It is a brilliant thinker show. It is one program that, despite the fact that it's done in a very entertaining way, it's very satirical, and it's just replete with knowledge, and just showing the fact that yes, human beings can be complete and utter idiots at times, but we do have our charm, and we do have our redeeming qualities. And not only that, but even Aziraphale and Crowley, they're the perfect foil for each other, and it's a nice yin and yang, and it's so perfectly done, and it's also a twist on that kind of relationship, and you think, oh, that is brilliant, and you applaud it. It's so innovative. I mean, I've seen it done before, but Neil Gaiman does it in such a way that it's just utterly miraculous, and the series is just tantamount to the acme of entertainment. I think there's nothing else that compares to this. This has got to be my favorite thing in the whole wide world right now. That's well, Dark Crystal Age of Resistance is coming out, so I might change my tune a little bit, but other than that, I'm seriously looking forward to Wheel of Time, and that's basically all I got to say about Good Omens. So until next time, my gardeners, live long, prosper. Ciao, Tootsie!